Crystal Palace get job done at the quarter-final. Roy Hodgson is now officially the oldest manager in Premier League history, and perhaps this could also prove a vintage year for Crystal Palace. Hodgson surpassed Sir Bobby Robson on Sunday, taking this game at the grand old age of 71 years and 192 days, and optimism will only build that he can finally progress past an FA Cup quarter-final. Palace are into the last 8 after comfortably negotiating their way past capable opponents in League One Doncaster Rovers, yet this competition has proven a frequent source of frustration for the Eagles manager during a coaching career spanning over 4 decades. Twice he reached this stage with Fulham and suffered defeat, so all eyes will be on Monday's draw after goals from Jeffrey Schlupp and Max Meyer ensured an easy afternoon for their record-breaking boss. It doesn't matter what age you are, I'm always nervous, apprehensive and anxious about every game we play, whether it's a 5th-round tie against Doncaster or Premier League game at Old Trafford, NQUOT, said Hodgson. NQUOT, our priority is always to stay in the league, and in this competition you will eventually meet one of the big teams. It's good that we are in the quarterfinals. I am very proud of that. There was no complacency from us and I'm delighted to have come through on the right side. NQUOT, we've got to be happy. These games are real banana skins because people don't give Doncaster Rovers and these kind of teams the credit they should. We did. I said they would be tough and we were ready for it. This had all the ingredients for a potentially awkward tie, with Doncaster in contention for a return to the championship and possessing a formidable home record. Rovers had not lost at the Keepmoat Stadium since October 23, winning 8 of their previous 10 games here. And manager Grant McCann's plans will have revolved around not conceding an early goal. Sadly for the home team, those plans went awry after just 8 minutes. Palace had not even threatened until Schlupp picked up the ball on the halfway line, evaded one challenge and advanced towards the penalty area before driving a low shot across Marco Morosi and into the bottom corner. There appeared to be a slight deflection, but it was poor Rovers defending and a hammer blow to their hopes of an upset. Doncaster's James Coppinger was making his 609th appearance for the club and proved influential as the home team responded. Palace were at times hesitant under pressure and Alfie May, the Rovers attacker, nearly capitalized in the 22nd minute, cleverly finding space outside the area and bending a shot wide. Palace did threaten sporadically on the counter-attack, and should have been awarded a penalty when defender Paul Downing clearly handled Patrick Van Aanholt's cross in the area. But they effectively killed off the game in first-half injury time with a goal of brutal simplicity. Luka Milivojevic's lofted pass released Andros Townsend in the area and his headed cross presented an easy chance on a plate for Meyer, who could not miss from almost on the goal line. Doncaster remained spirited and May headed over from 4 yards early in the second half before Coppinger sent a shot wide from outside the area. Palace eventually snuffed out Rovers' resolve and could have added more goals as darkness fell in the full catalogue of Wembley songs got an airing from the 3,000 travelling fans. Palace are now assured of only their second appearance in 24 years in the last 8. Doncaster's focus will now be exclusively on promotion, with the club currently 6th in their division. McCann said, NQUOT, we played the game really well. It was a good game, but we saw the difference with a Premier League team. I thought we matched them for large periods, but if you give players of that standard those chances, it will be hard. The goal before the break took the wind out of our sails a bit. NQUOT, we have come off that field with our heads held high. This will give us confidence for the playoffs. The league is the most important thing. This was an added bonus for us and we now have to quickly Get over it. Doncaster 4-4-2, Morosi 6, Blair 6, Downing 5, Anderson 6, Andrews 7, Crawford 6, Rowe 64-6, Whiteman 7, Kane 7, Coppinger 7, Sadlier 64-6, Marquis 6, May 7th, Bukic 89. Substitutes: Jones, G, Wright, Butler, Lewis, Booked, Whiteman. Crystal Palace 4-3-3, Hennessy 6, Ward 6, Kelly 6, Dan 7, Van Aanholt 6, Meyer 7, Milivojevic 8, Schlupp 7, Townsend 7, MacArthur 80, Batshuayi 6, Benik 75, Ayew 6, Kouyaté 67. Substitutes: Guaita, G, Tompkins, Woods, Riedewald. Referee: Mike Dean. Cheshire 6:16 p.m. on Optifax for you. Crystal Palace have won away at Doncaster for the first time since August 1960, ending a 6-game winless run in all competitions. D2L4. Crystal Palace have reached the quarter-final stage of the FA Cup for the second time in the last 4 seasons, as many as in their previous 33 campaigns. Doncaster haven't beaten top-flight opposition in the FA Cup since January 1985, 1-0 versus QPR, drawing 2 and losing 6 since. Crystal Palace have scored in their last 9 games in all competitions, their longest run since netting in 10 successive games in March 2016. No Crystal Palace player has provided more goals, 7, or assists 4, than Andros Townsend in all competitions this season. Jeffrey Schlupp has scored 5 goals in all competitions for Crystal Palace this season, his most in a single campaign since 2011-12, 6 for Leicester. 5:51 p.m. full-time. A decent effort from Doncaster, but Crystal Palace were simply the better team and well prepared for this one. Hodgson's side go through to the quarterfinals. 5:48 p.m. 90 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Yep, still the same. Palace in total control. 5:44 p.m. 87 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Hennessy jumps to pick the ball out the air and wins a free kick. I can't see it happening for Doncaster today. They're running out of time and just don't have enough in them. 5:42 p.m. 84 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Doncaster start from the back again. Palace sit ready and waiting. They've played this one perfectly. 5:40 p.m. 81 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. There's still lots of running in the Doncaster legs, but the final ball isn't good enough. Marquis chases a ball down the channel, then turns and throws his arms out at his teammate, forgetting it's a wrong. 5:37 p.m. 78 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Save for anything weird happening, this game is slowly petering out into a fairly routine Palace win. Nothing's changed since half-time. 34 p.m. 75 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Batshuayi off Benik. It's not been a great game for Batshuayi. He's not taking his chances and in danger of being one of those players who never reaches their potential. 5:30 p.m. 72 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Palace still totally in control even if they aren't attacking. Doncaster still working incredibly hard off the ball but just can't quite get close enough to win it back. They pass from back to front and Batshuayi runs in behind the defense. He's onside, and his second touch is awful, gifting the keeper time to close him down and block the shot. He wins a corner, but it should have been 3-0. 5:27 p.m. 69 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Palace keep clearing their lines, but Doncaster are sending wave after wave of attack their way and winning the battles in their own half. 5:24 p.m. 66 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Here's a clip of that earlier chance for Doncaster. Doncaster have their 10th corner now, but again Palace can get rid. 5:21 p.m. 63 minutes. Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Doncaster are still trying to press but can't do it with the same intensity of the opening 20 minutes. They're still forcing errors though. It's working, and Kane is able to have a dig from 20 yards, but puts it too close to Hennessy. 5:17 p.m. 60 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 2. It's a very professional job by Palace here, as though they know they're the better team but also realize how important it is not to lose the individual battles. Very patient, structured shape, slowing things down. IU is subbed off for Kouyaté. 5:15 p.m. 57 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 2. Batshuayi hasn't been very good today. He keeps trying to do little clever, flashy things rather than simply getting control of the ball and moving it on. Doncaster building pressure but there's still no end product. They seem to do best from corners sent in from wide right off Crawford's boot. Here's another one which pings around the area, is eventually knocked over for a goal kick. 5:12 p.m. 54 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace. The 2nd of May and Van Aanholt get shirty with each other as the former kicks the latter after giving the ball away. 5:09 p.m. 51 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 2. Doncaster get forward. There's a chance to shoot from 20 yards but Crawford decides to pass backwards. Hennessy saves well from a shot disguised as a cross. Crawford slices his foot through it and Blair is inside 6 yards. He's headed over. Oh so close. He was trying to just move it onto towards goal. 5:06 p.m. 48 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 2. Palace on the front foot from the start, pushing up the pitch and using the space either side of Doncaster's narrow defensive shape. They win a corner, which is sent towards Van Aanholt on the edge of the box to try a Paul Scholes special. It's miles over the bar. 5:03 p.m. kickoff 2. What can Doncaster do to get back into this 1? Palace start the second half. 4:54 p.m. analysis. Doncaster will very probably run out of energy in the final 20 minutes, having gone for it in the first half and charging around the pitch against a very wise, pretty physical Palace side. Hodgson can now have his players sit and ping forward on the counter-attack, and since Doncaster have to attack, and will definitely tire, there are going to be loads of chances to do that. 4:48 p.m. halftime, and that might be a nail embedded deep inside the Doncaster football coffin. Palace haven't been amazing, but they don't need to be. It's all about tiring Doncaster out and punishing mistakes. They've done exactly that. 4:47 p.m. Palace make it 2. Meyer scores a header at the back post. 4:45 p.m. 45 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1. Palace are making Doncaster chase the ball around, keeping calm, not forcing passes forward when they don't need to do. There will be some tired home legs towards the end of this one. 4:42 p.m. 42 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1. Coppinger gets Doncaster's first proper shot on goal away, meeting across with a header but planting the shot way wide. 4:27 p.m. 27 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1 way. Batshuayi tries to backheel the ball to keep it from going out for a goal kick, misses, momentum takes him forward and he ends up going over the advertising boards looking quite the fool. Palace have decided to stop sitting back and move up the pitch, winning a couple of corners in a row. 4:24 p.m. 24 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1. Another Doncaster attack. They're really flying here. Palace being made to do a lot of work off the ball. 4:21 p.m. 21 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1. Doncaster win a corner. It's hit in with power, headed away by IU and kept alive until Palace get a throw in near their own box. The high press wins possession back and then another corner. How much longer can Doncaster keep up this pressure? Ward does brilliantly to read the flight of a whipped cross from Andrew and heads behind for another corner. Cleared, and now Palace can break. 4:18 p.m. 18 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1. Doncaster are playing some nice football here, but Palace's defense is a solid block denying entry to the box. It looks like the home team are getting more of the ball in attacking areas, but Palace don't mind. They're just clearing their lines and waiting for a chance to counter-attack. 4:15 p.m. 15 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1. Crystal Palace are happy to let Doncaster attack and then launch a counter. The press is really working though, and Palace players are drawn into little battles with awkward bouncing balls. 4:13 p.m. 12 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1. Doncaster are trying to make every pass go forwards and chase it up, not giving a second to anyone in a yellow jersey to think about where the next pass goes. 4:09 p.m. GOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO brilliant shot into the far post. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 1. Schlupp. 8 feet. Schlupp has run from behind the halfway line there. Downing takes him on but doesn't close the shot down well enough, and the finish is struck with power past the goalkeeper. 4:08 p.m. 8 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 0. Hennessy has to punt the ball up the pitch a few times so far. Palace winning the second ball but then forced all the way back to the goalkeeper. Doncaster chasin'. Force the ball long again. They'll knacker their strikers out if they keep doing this. Cool it down, lads. The pressure has worked now though, as Ward plays a dreadful pass to the goalkeeper and puts it out for a corner. Cleared at the near post. 4:05 p.m. 6 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 0. Palace are just taking their time in the opening stages of the game, letting the ball run out for goal kicks and slowing things down to take the noise out of the crowd and the energy out the home side. 4:03 p.m. 3 minutes. Doncaster 0 Crystal Palace 0. Doncaster start well and on the attack. Palace soak up a move and then win the ball back. Doncaster get right into them early on, forcing passes wide. Some strong challenges going in. 4:01 p.m. kickoff and they're off the football, not the horses. 4:01 p.m. The fans are excited. Lots of excellent tin foil trophies and banners on show from the Donny fans. Also, for some reason, this 3:56 p.m. Danny Murphy played in quarter-finals under Hodgson and QUOT. He's determined to go through in progress, but he's very honest that staying in the Premier League is more important, so it's about getting that balance. But today the team is full of quality, and QUOT. Palace do rely heavily on Zaha but should have enough about them to see off a lower league side, don't they? 3:47 p.m. Grant McCann's words, "We're looking forward to it. It's a huge task. A great occasion for all the fans. We're looking forward to it to test ourselves against a very good Premier League team. We'll stick to our game plan. The boys have to go out there and give everything they've got. They've got to enjoy it. They like big occasions, so it's an unbelievable experience for the younger boys. It's a good benchmark for them." 3:45 p.m. Roy Hodgson, "We've done well to get this far. Another tough tie. Having the chance to reach the quarter-final is something we're very happy about." 3:42 p.m. Doncaster's Cup history. Doncaster haven't been in the fifth round of the FA Cup since 1956, and the BBC have gone round the town doing nice wee talking heads shots with people who live there. They're all very excited, and so they should be. It's only a tenner a ticket. 3:17 p.m. FA Cup fever. Crystal Palace are going for it. Sure, avoiding relegation is the big aim for the year, but the whole point of football is winning stuff, and you don't win a prize for not going down. Roy Hodgson fancies a bit of FA Cup action, and here is his team to try that.